Hi, my name is Marisol, and I am actually um, I live in the USA and in Austin, Texas. And this is a video for those of you interested in learning more about art. What I'm going to present about is going to be um, the art of Diego Rivera. And Diego Rivera is actually from Mexico. And the reason why I want to present on Diego Rivera is because even though I live in America, my background is Mexican. So I am Mexican American. Okay. My experience with art is mainly studying it through art history. I'm not an artist. I don't know how to draw. I don't know how to paint. But I love art, and especially art that is meaningful and art that has a very strong political or cultural message. So Diego Rivera was actually known to be he was fantastic artist, fantastic painter. He was extremely popular around the world in the early 20th century, and his work is known throughout the world. So what he's very popular for is painting big wall murals. And so what I'm going to show you is or present is actually his work that he did in the Palacio Nacional in Mexico City, which is the national palace where the president meets and other diplomats meet. So um, some of my favorite artists are Diego Rivera, Velázquez from Spain, Salvador Dalí, and Picasso. All of them are also from Spain. I'm a very big fan of Spanish art, and so those are some of my favorites. I don't have one favorite. I have several that I really much enjoy. So the picture that the mural that I'm showing you is actually a mural that extends from the right to the left. It's a big mural. And when you go up the stairs in the National Palace, that is when you will see the mural in front of you. It's beautiful, it's big. And so if you look at the PowerPoint, you will see that on the right side of the wall, Diego Rivera paints the image of a Spaniard coming to Mexico. So that's where he starts the history of Mexico. When the Spaniard comes, the indigenous people of Mexico think it's a god because he's blonde with blue eyes. But he's not a god. He's a Spaniard. He's from Spain. But the people in Mexico think he's a god. So here, Diego Rivera starts with that part of Mexican history. And you will see the people, the indigenous people, are surrounding the Spaniard. If you keep moving forward, the next part is central. Like so, the central part of the staircase. So you start here, and then you move, and then there's a central part. There, what we have is the War of Independence of 1810 in Mexico, because Mexico was ruled by the Spanish crown, the Spanish king and queen, and for many years, for about 300 years. So in 1810, Mexico has a war of independence, and they get independence from Spain. And here you see in the central of the image, you see the people of Mexico fighting with Spanish soldiers. They're on the horses. You see war. You see an eagle with a serpent in its mouth. That's the symbol of the Mexican flag, which has historical background. The Aztec people believed that when they saw this image, that's where they were going to build their empire. And they did see this image, and that's where they built Tenochtitlan, which is today Mexico City. You will see there an older man with gray hair and bald. That's Miguel Hidalgo, and he was a Catholic priest. He was a big part of the Mexican Independence War. He was the one who led. He is known as the father of the nation. So he's a very important figure in Mexican history. You also see in the image monks that are baptizing the indigenous people. So the Spaniards brought Catholicism to Mexico. Um, Before that, it was not a Catholic country. It was a country that believed in indigenous rituals. So we can see that there as well. If you go to the next slide, the central part of the staircase continues. We see more blood, more war, more fighting. And this is very common at the time because so many nations in all of Latin America at this time are fighting against Spain to gain their independence, because for about 300 years Spain ruled most of Latin America. So this is why in Latin America we speak Spanish, and many people are also Catholic. If you go to the left side of the wall, the last slide, you will see more war. And I think this is it's a combination of the Mexican Revolution of 1910, and this is also during the time of communism, Marxism. So the 1940s, 1950s, the painter Diego Rivera is portraying that even in Mexico, people were to some extent, wanted some form of communism, and there were, but Mexico is a republic. It's a democratic state. So we see here the war continues on the left hand side, and you'll see his wife, Diego's wife in the painting is Frida Kahlo. She's towards the bottom by the staircase, bottom left. And huelga means they're on strike. So people are obviously very politically involved. And so that kind of leads to contemporary Mexico. And now Mexico is an independent state. It's there's no more civil war. There's no revolution. There's no war of independence. Today, one of the main problems in Mexico is the war on drugs. So that has been what the country suffers from the most. It's still a developing nation. So there's a lot of war between drug cartels. And so that is causing many people to die. And many places are not safe. but it still continues to be one of the most richest countries of the world, with culture, history, tourism. It's one of the most visited in the world. So this is why I chose to present on Diego Rivera to teach you more about art that is different from the West. This is more of Latin American, Mexican, and it truly portrays the story of Mexico, the story of the people, where Mexico was a country that had indigenous people, had natives, and then we had outside people come in from Europe, which was Spain, took over the country, and then we have a mixed race, which are mestizos. I am mestiza. I am the mix of Spaniard and indigenous. I'm the mix of that, and like every country, there has been war. People have died for the country. People have fought to keep the country. So that's what I wanted to present to you, and I hope you are able to enjoy the slides. I'm sorry that I'm not able to put those on the screen. It's just I cannot do that with the way this records. But if you have any questions for me, you can tell um, Yoon to send them over to me. And let's see, what does this picture mean for you? This picture means to me the history of Mexico. It's the history of Mexico, not in a book, but on a painting for people to see. So anybody who sees this mural can look at it and learn the history of Mexico. Um, have an opinion with art teacher of Korea for mejor mundo, for a better world. I'm not sure I understand this question, but if you're asking me what's my opinion for an art teacher in Korea to create a better world, I think stay true to your story and let the people decide. Give your message in your painting, but let the people decide what it means for them. So that way, many people can interpret it many ways, and they own it. So I hope that makes sense. So I hope you enjoy the mural. It is in the National Palace of Mexico City. It's very, very big. It's beautiful. So if you have time to research online, I highly recommend it. You will get more information and you will get more pictures. So I hope you're able to enjoy that, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. Okay? Bye.